Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And today on our featured advisor spotlight, we'll be highlighting Nicholas Gayle. Nicholas Gayle is an international studies major with a concentration in geography and history at Vassar College. He has a second major in German and Russian languages, and he is profoundly interested in the fashion industry. This interest propelled him to the editor-in-chief and photo director positions of the Vassar's fashion and style magazine, Contrast. Nick, thank you so much for being here and taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So you are clearly a very intelligent and determined student. What interests you to learn?
So I'm like I've always sort of been interested in studies. I've always found like that school is the place where I could feel like comfortable at. So I've always sort of been involved and really applied myself to the studies. Especially those areas of geography and history, but I didn't discover those until later, until I got to college. Before I like my freshman year, I was a art history and art history major, and I didn't initially want to have a German studies major, but then I did. So it's like it's come a long way, but I've always sort of been engrossed in books and whatnot.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you mind if I ask what made you become the German major?
So I had taken German in high school, actually by accident, because I want to take French, but I hit the wrong button. Um, and so I just stuck with it. And once I transferred, because I was at Fairfield University for 2 years, and then I transferred to Vassar in spring of 21. So my second part of my sophomore year. And I just decided that German would be like based on like the credits I had, German would be a good fit for me.
That's awesome. I love that. So, aside from the classroom, what are your interests and how are they important to you?
So outside the classroom, I sort of find that I can express myself more. So I'm on the fencing team, so that's been really fun. I started fencing in high school. I started fencing once I got to Vassar again, and so I'm a competitive person, I would say. So it's great to like have that outlet to be competitive and to do something that I love. And we get to fence all types of schools and all types of people. We go on overnight trips. Like last beginning of January, went to Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, to fence some teams there, and it was a fun time. Um, so I fence. I'm also part of a comedy group, which I kind of so upon coming to Vassar, my student orientation leader was also in this comedy group, and she said like you should audition, and I was like okay, sure. Like I'm sort of a type of person that just kind of like does stuff. So I was like, okay, sure, not thinking that I would like make it on, but they liked me and they accepted me. And so I've been there pretty much ever since I've been at Vassar. Like I think I joined both the fencing team and the comedy group like as soon as I came to Vassar. So that's been really fun to have that throughout my Vassar experience. Um I also, like you said, I'm involved in the fashion magazine here. I started out as photo director and now I'm the editor in chief. So yeah, so just like a lot of different interests. I also work in the German department too. Um, so I have a lot of stuff I could do. I always like to stay busy. So I think I just can express myself like physically, emotionally, socially. So yeah, I think those, keep me sane because otherwise I'd be stuck writing papers all the time.
Yeah, right. That's incredible too that you have so many different outlets to express like the variety of interests that you have.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. I was going to ask what drew you to these extracurriculars, but would you say it's just the overall like competitiveness, the fun of it all?
Yeah, so particularly for fencing, it's a competitiveness.
Mhm.
Also, just being able to like stay active and is really important, I
Yeah.
think. yeah, to have a break from studies to be active. I think that's really important for me. The comedy group, just like I love the group and I get to sort of be silly and not take life so seriously. Well, I guess that's like a sort of a MO for me, but especially I have a designated space where I can just not be serious and whatnot. Um, and the fashion magazine, I just, I've had an interest in fashion since like since the beginning of high school, but it just sort of blossomed during my first year of college, and then sort of kind of carried me through. So get to sort of experience that and apply all of the like research and stuff is really a good way for me to stay sane and stay and have a purpose for it too. So
Yeah, that's awesome. What an incredible creative outlet.
yeah.
So speaking of contrast, can you tell us what was and is your experience with it?
So I started in I think I started in the fall, very end of the fall semester of 2021. Yeah, or yeah, 2021. Yeah. Yeah. So I started in the fall semester of 21. Um, Originally I had just been I was on like the general board, which is just like the broader Vassar community. Whoever wants to like, be a model or take photos or help on like the layout of the magazine and so on and so forth. So I had been a I had taken photos before, had a camera. It was like one of my like hobbies that I had done on and off. So I was like, sure. And obviously I was interested in like editorial fashion photography, especially from like my art history time. So once I signed up and I was, I got to take some photos, and then the next semester they had all applications for like the editorial board and the photo director, and I got on, and so I got to manage the photos. I had some like creative input. Um, I also managed the team of like photographers that we'd have for each shoot. I helped, plan for the shoot. I helped like scout locations and so on and so forth. So yeah, it was, that's how I got started. And then eventually I got, I picked up some more like I picked up some more responsibilities outside. Like I got to for the first issue I worked on, I got to like write like the little blurbs describing each photo shoot. So that was cool, I guess, to practice that sort of writing. And then yeah, the end of the year, the applications came out again for the editor in chief, and so I applied and I got on. So here I am being the editor in chief of the magazine, which has been an experience. I can tell you that it's been an experience. It's not always fun, but I think it's overall rewarding. So yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh, and the outcome of it is so beautiful. I had the opportunity to look at the fall winter 2022 edition. Oh my God, just absolutely stunning.
Thank
Truly. Of course. And it was 44 pages total, which is a
you.
feat in and of itself. The fact that you worked with so many of your fellow students and just an entire team of it, you
Mhm.
really should be so proud of yourself.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful piece.
right.
What was the largest obstacle you had faced when doing that, and how did you overcome it?
So I'd say like timing and organization are the most difficult things to keep in mind, because I had, despite having been the photo director, I was never like the leader of all the teams. I only had to manage a photo direct, like the photo, like during the shoots, and then just like the editing process and like facilitate that. So coming into this year, I'd never led an organization by myself. And so that requires me to like know about sort of like the student finance organization, and me having to like plan, like go into the system to plan, like to reserve rooms and that, this and that and other stuff. So I struggled with that at first, trying to get my bearings. So I was actually, so we were actually 3 weeks late, and I was like on me because like I was just still starting to figure it out while also trying to transition into school itself. My last year of a thesis due in April. So I'm just like, so it was just a lot at once. And so the magazine process didn't actually start until 3 weeks into the semester, which was pretty late. So on that hand, it was difficult. Also just organization, um, planning when the shoots were gonna be, organizing teams, organizing the photo shoots, um, proved to be like particularly challenging, especially on the photo side, which is weird because I had already experienced doing that. But having to organize all the teams and then also doing photo was a little bit difficult. And say this, so that was the hardest part. But the teams were super good and we actually got it done. We worked together. And so going into this semester, we have already started. We already have a schedule and we're already talking to people for a cover story. Um, we're on. So once we all knew how to navigate and stuff, now we're on track. And so we're doing well. So the teams are working independently too. So that helps a lot too. So we're on a good track, but at first it was definitely the timing and organization of it all.
Mhm. Wow, that's awesome though. It's great that you were able to A, make it a turnaround and B, kind of learn from it.
Hmm.
So now that you have
Yeah,
those individual teams working, that's amazing.
yeah. So yeah, that was so it's been fun. Like it's been fun working with all the teams and the community at large. Or actually, this semester we have a fashion show we're going to do. So I'm actually going to go into a meeting right after this, to discuss some of the more in-depth stuff about that. So that's exciting. So we made sure to get the plan like way in advance for that. So that'll be fun. So we have a lot of on our plate, but we're gonna get it done. So yeah.
That's awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm sure it'll be worth it too.
Yeah,
It all
yeah,
come
for
together.
sure.
That's awesome. So, what are some other goals that you have for yourself now that graduation is on the horizon?
Well, for graduation, before graduation, I have to get my thesis done. So that's the most important thing. I'm doing my international thesis on transnational Jamaican identities. I'm not super duper sure like exactly. I have like pretty good idea, but like I want to like do some sort of look on like transnational Jamaican masculinities, like manifestations of masculinities. Looking at it critically, of course, always, but I think that's where I'm going to go. The format of it is still a little bit. I originally thought it was just going to be like a pretty standard like analytical thesis, and then I decided it would be better to do the sort of narrative form because a lot of the inspiration is my own family and their own story. So I think it's going to be some combination of the two. We'll see how it turns out. I'm writing sort of the preface, the introduction, some of the chapters now,
Mhm.
and we'll see how it sort of comes together. So that's the biggest thing right now is finishing the thesis. Um, Outside of graduation, I've just applied for a position at Macy's that will train me in product development and supply chain, and then hopefully after that, we'll land a job within the company. So that's pretty cool. So I have that on the horizon. Otherwise, just generally speaking, I think just doing something that I enjoy doing, in an area that I enjoy doing. I prefer like this a city environment, but whatever the best opportunity is, or the coolest opportunity, I should say, I will go ahead and take that. So yeah, I have a couple things, just like doing something I enjoy, um, and continuing to just keep going on, as they say.
Absolutely. Yeah. And doing something that you enjoy is so important, but it seems like you've got a pretty good grasp at finding those outlets.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll keep going. Hopefully I can keep keep up doing some of the stuff I do now.
Mhm. Oh, I think you definitely will. I have, total faith in you and best of luck. That thesis
Thank
sounds
you.
beautiful and really personal. So
Yeah.
it'll come out great. So, a final question. What is some advice that you would give to your younger self?
So something I said earlier, but I'll say it again, just like not taking yourself too seriously, like relax, even though it's hard, like it'll get, you'll make it through and it'll be fine. Just continue to just like you can be focused, you should be focused, but just it's not the end of the world if you mess up or make a mistake. So just like enjoy life, find the humor in it. Don't take it don't take it too seriously. It's never the end of the world. So, just keep going and just be chill, honestly, and you'll have a better time.
I really love that. That's awesome. That's a great piece of advice. Well, Nick, thank you so, so much for taking the time to talk with us today about
Thank you.
everything that you got going on. We really appreciate your time and your energy.
Yeah, I appreciate being here. It was fun.